Hey everybody, so we're finally starting week 4 of Fire Academy. I know I've only covered week 3, but the later weeks, like week 1 and week 2, is more just like I guess the overview of the book, and we're always inside anyways doing lecture most of the time. I think week 3 we're out on the drill grounds probably like 4 days, or almost 5, like 4.5 days on the drill grounds. Actually training and doing stuff, especially because we're doing hose lays and working with different nozzles and hoses and learning everything about that and interior attacks. And I heard that one was like the hardest or most physical week, but I'm not sure who I heard that from, and I'm not sure if it's true. This next week, week 4, we're going into ladders, so I want to see how that is. Tomorrow we're going to go into the half lecture, half drill ground day. We're going to lecture on ladders, and we're going to go out there and actually throw them, see how they actually are. I picked some up already, I think like a 24 foot, and by myself was a little bit heavy, so we'll see. I don't know if we're going to throw it single or doubles with 2 people. I'm pretty sure we're going to be throwing them with both. But now that we're kind of getting the hang of things, we're almost a month in, and 3 more months to go. It's getting more easier. It's getting more like a routine. The only thing is, like, time management is kind of crazy because there's like a lot of stuff we have to do. So first of all, we have a workbook that every chapter has its own pages or its own chapter in there, and like you have to do them as you go. And I didn't know that for the first week. But now I'm kind of catching up. Then we get a week of like 100 question test every week at the end, and then we get sometimes essays or sometimes like government training that you have to finish, like the ICS, and there's also like EEO, which is there's diversity one, and then there's what's the other one? Oh, sexual harassment one that we have to finish, and then upload as well. Do all the ICS ones, and then there's the IAFF 212 that we have to finish, and those are all like videos that you have to watch, and then at the end you get a certificate, and then you upload it as well. And those are stuff you need. And so now, since we're getting into the more physical type, or I guess more on the drill grounds and actually hands-on type of training, than like week 1 and week 2, which were mostly in the classroom. A lot of people were falling asleep in the classroom too, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, it's hard to stay awake, especially if you don't get a lot of sleep. I was kind of dozing off too, but you just gotta keep yourself awake, like keep eating or something, you know. Luckily I had a good partner next to me, so I was always messing around with him, and he would do the same thing, you know, so we kind of keep each other awake. But even outside, it kind of sucks that that I chose to do it. This is the soonest time I could have got in the Fire Academy, but I chose to do it in the fall because it's the soonest, but it's the hottest as well. So going through August, September, and then at the end, or I guess mid October, would be when it's kind of hot, and it's gonna start cooling down after that. I guess second week of October, getting towards like Halloween. But in knowing that, and we're always outside, we're kind of just standing there in the sun, basically, kind of getting all that skin cancer, and all that UV rays. So we're getting sunburn, if that makes sense. And a lot of us do. We put on the sunscreen and everything too. But you can kind of see, I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but like the difference in the color. I think you can see it right there on the camera. Like the whole line. Like I'm really dark down here, and even my face too. Like I've had a couple people tell me like, dang, like from like a couple weeks ago, or even last week from when I seen you, like you're like 3 shades darker. And I'm like, yeah, we're like staying in the sun. I put sunscreen all the time, but just staying in the sun just, I guess, makes you really dark stuff. I think it's pretty funny too. Like the lead instructor, the coordinator there, he was telling us in the pre-academy, he was like, it's gonna be a long time. You know, you're gonna have people that you don't get along with well, and you're gonna want to like get them, but don't, like just. And he likes to do this thing. He likes to say, which is really good. I think he's really good to preach. he likes to say like take the higher road, which is true. You know, you should always take the higher road. But now I kind of like you just see certain things, and I think that's apparent like with anything and everything. Like whoever you're living with or whoever you're like near so much, you're gonna find little nitpick things that you don't like, right? It just happens. We're just human. It always happens. It happens faster when some people don't have common courtesy, if that makes sense. Like, it only makes sense. Like, just an example, like, if you're getting on the freeway, but they don't want to let you in, like, that's not common courtesy. You're gonna start bumping heads or road rage, you know? It causes more problems, trouble. But when everyone has that common courtesy and says, hey, you know, hop in, who cares? So you hop in, and everything's fine, you know? But some people just don't have that. They're just raised different. So, I mean, it's not their fault, but they should strive to understand certain things, you know, why other people do other things, you know? But to each their own. You know, we're not here to, I guess, lecture everyone else or try to build them from the ground up. I mean, they have to do that on their own. That's their own journey. We can only hint them, but sometimes it could come off as bad, or some people just don't want to follow that, don't want to do that. So it's better to just like kind of leave it alone and not take it as like I guess, not take it so personal. I guess, you know. Other than that, it was pretty crazy. Like I think last Friday we got out super late. Um, they held us over till like 6 o'clock, I think, around, and then after that, like I said, we were outside in the heat the whole time. We were wearing all our structure gear, so all our PPE, and I didn't know what it was until I put it on. For many people that don't know what it is, it's literally like two oven mitts, like sewn together, and that's like all around you, if that makes sense. And you're all covered. There's nothing that's not covered, and that just, I guess it's not airtight, but especially because it overlaps. But that airtight seal and that material itself, it's kind of like heat resistant, kind of blocks that thermal layer. It it traps that heat and it makes it so hot on the inside. Like once you put it on, like 5-10 minutes, you're already sweating and you're not even doing anything. It's crazy. Um, but so like I said, like sweating in that for like a whole week straight, we're all getting like stinky and stuff, and our clothes are all getting like smelling horrible. You know, all the PPE. So you have to wash it in special washers, which they have there, and they're always open, which is good. So I went over there with a couple buddies, and we're just washing it. But it just took us from like 6 till like we're around 7. Then we kind of got out till like almost around like 10 at night. I finally did it and threw it out. So it was just crazy, but I think it's pretty cool. Like staying with them, we're like talking and stuff and doing homework right there, and that was pretty cool. We got stuff to eat. I think that's like moments that like suck at the time, but you kind of bond with other people because you're there, you're talking to them, you're having a good time. You know, making a good time out of something that sucks. So I think it's really cool. So like I said, we did hoses last week. We're doing ladders this week, and for the weeks to come, it seems like they're gonna be more. I don't know, more challenging, but more fun, more exciting. We have like breach, like door, like forcible entry, and which is auto extrication too. So that's seems pretty cool. Those are the ones I'm really looking forward to. So we're gonna see how that goes and what week it'll be, and I'll kind of let you guys know. Hopefully, I could bring like my own camera in and kind of give you guys, I guess, a point of view like that. I have a camera, but I just have to. I wish it was a little bit slimmer, but I could. Let me see if I could like put it on my helmet or something while I'm doing these tasks. Hopefully it stays, and hopefully they allow that. They don't, I guess, tell me no or don't allow it.